in just a second. Again, guys, I am behind 2 minutes of delay at the moment. So if anything weird happens and I don't correct it right away, that's what's happening. So hey everybody, welcome to the very first round, the very first week, round 2 of the TT eSports Dota 2 Weekly. So that's with adroits.net. As always, I'm Baseskip bringing you guys this game. This is going to be, again, one of our round 2 matchups between LucidLunatics and We Need More Dota. If you want to find them on the bracket, that's Phantom versus Splandring. I believe they've signed up under different names and things like that, but shouldn't be too bad. And now getting underway with the game. Don't think I have anything else to say, and if I did, I've already forgotten it. So, done introductions, and yep, seems like overlays are all fine. Getting underway with the draft. Nyx is going to be the first ban out for LucidLunatics. We Need More Dota going to choose to remove the Batrider and the Darkseer from the pool, so Coddle remains. So does Magnus. Lone Dread actually going to be the ban, so Magnus going to be taken here by WNMD. Coddle PL is in the pool at the moment. Rubik would not be a bad response to the Magnus. Again, not 100% sure how to call these drafts. Not 100% sure. I'm not familiar with these teams whatsoever, so this is a bit of an adventure for me, as much as it is for you guys. But hopefully it's enjoyable all the same. And Shadow Demon actually going to be taken here by LucidLunatics. So, a little bit interesting to see that, in fact, especially given the position that we're in right now. And the Queen of Pain, so I guess LucidLunatics just going to be playing what they're comfortable with, as opposed to playing the meta that maybe we necessarily see in the competitive scene. So, We Need More Dota. What's it going to be for them? Keeper of Light's still in the pool. Surprising to see that he hasn't been considered. He is kind of a pest to play against, and he's not necessarily all that much fun to play either. So it's not too surprising to see that he hasn't really been picked up, especially if teams feel that they can win without him. I guess give your support players a little bit of a break. Don't force them to play it right away. So We Need More Dota. What are the options for them right now in terms of lanes? Magnus could be run on the offlane, or he could be run on mid. LucidLunatics have pretty much already shown their mid by picking up the Queen of Pain. Magnus doesn't have a great time against Quap mid, but he can do reasonably well, and there is some kill potential going his way as well. And they've both got reasonable rune control, though the Queen of Pain does have the small upper hand. So Wisp going to be taken here by We Need More Dota and Tiny as well, so they get the combo right off the bat. This does open them up to being offensively tri-laned against just a little bit because of the Wisp Tiny both being quite weak even in a defensive tri-lane. But again, the Keeper of Light does remain in the pool, so if it makes it through the next ban phase, then that could be an option for them to try and strengthen that defensive tri-lane a little bit. And we'll see how confident LucidLunatics are feeling with their execution on this one. Again, to run an offensive tri-lane, you really need to have great execution for those crucial first 10 minutes of the game. If your offensive tri-lane fails in its objective in terms of shutting down the opponent's carry and actually ends up giving him some kills, then not only are you sort of down 1 peg, but you're down 2, because not only have you given the opponent carry more farm than you intended, but you've also ended up with much less farm than you should have or you would have had in a defensive tri-lane. So LucidLunatics, we'll see what the option is going to be here for them. There are still some great offensive tri-lane heroes left in the pool. I wouldn't be too surprised to see something like a Nyx pick up for their carry. He's pretty good against a Tiny Wisp combo, since as soon as you see the relocate coming in, you can just immediately pop Rage, and then your teammates can start to TP in. You buy yourself a lot of time, so that's always a good choice, and it means that your supports can be off doing things in other lanes, just carrying TPs, and you can leave the Nyx farming. So yeah, it's actually going to be the Lifestealer here. So definitely like the pickup. It means they can still run an offensive tri-lane. Shadow Demon Lifestealer +1 isn't bad. They could pick up something like the Lina for that, which can have setup between the open wounds or the disruption. And both are fairly good. Well, or Leshrac, or anyone really. Could even see something like an Ancient Apparition. But yeah, LucidLunatics, hopefully they'll run an offensive tri-lane. They could just run a defensive tri. At the moment, right now they're going to be looking perhaps towards either some mid bans or some offlane bans. Magnus isn't all that difficult to deal with on the offlane these days, so we might just see some offlane bans. Maybe push him towards mid, or try and ban some mids, push him towards the offlane. And PL actually going to be banned out here by LucidLunatics. Not sure what to make of that. I feel like We Need More Dota have already picked up their carry in the Tiny, and there wouldn't really be a place to lane the PL. We need more Dota. They're just going to choose to ban out some supports right now, so the Keeper of the Light going to be removed from the pool. Interesting, since they did actually have first pick coming out of this phase, and the Coddle would have been great for that defensive tri-lane. They could look to run an offensive tri-lane, but Wisp and Tiny aren't necessarily great heroes for it. So we'll see how this all works out. It's going to be Brewmaster banned out by LucidLunatics. They're still hunting for an offlaner right now, or just a solo top if they are going to be running that offensive tri-lane, which I mentioned. And again, with the Keeper of Light already being banned out, they can feel fairly confident about looking to run the defensive tri. It really just does come down to a question of whether they're feeling confident about the execution. So Weaver's going to be taken here by We Need More Dota. That's probably going to be their offlaner. We've got a Night Stalker banned out by LucidLunatics. It's not a bad one there. Again, Magnus could still be on that off lane, but I think We Need More Dota have sort of shown their lanes a little bit now. Just looking for that last support. Could be something like a Jakiro, especially if LucidLunatics do choose to run this offensive tri-lane that I've been mentioning. And all they really need is a solid follow-up stun to the Shadow Demon or the Lifestealers to sort of make kills happen down on bot. The Jakiro would be that sort of second best defensive support for We Need More Dota if that offensive tri-lane is coming right now. As far as safe lane solos, LucidLunatics know that they would be their safe lane solo would be matching up against a Weaver. There is still a Clinks in the pool. It's not a bad matchup for him, and there are plenty of heroes that you can put up on that solo safe lane against the Weaver. It's not a terribly difficult matchup, though the Weaver is going to get some farm if it's just a 1v1 situation. So again, we'll see how it all works out as we progress in the draft. But yeah, either if it's a nice follow-up stunner that can fit into an offensive tri-lane, then hopefully LucidLunatics will be looking to run that. Otherwise, they're looking for an off-laner right now. There are still options in the pool. There is a Windrunner at the moment. The Beastmaster is being banned out, and it's actually going to be Lion here for LucidLunatics. I do like the pickup. I think it's a support that should see a little bit more play. Finger of Death is fantastic for just wiping out the Wisp. And you've got all of those disables as well, just to be locking down a Tiny in team fights. So Shadow Shaman's going to be taken here by We Need More Dota. They are extremely vulnerable right now to an offensive tri-lane, I have to say. Rasta, not really that popular in the metagame at the moment. Gives them some nice push out of their support, and LucidLunatics looks like they are just going to be looking to run a defensive tri-lane. Clockwork is probably going to be on that off lane as their last pickup. So, gonna wait for everyone to pick up their heroes. We'll get into the game. Hopefully I won't butcher the pronunciation on anyone's name too much. And then hopefully we've got some exciting Dota ahead of us. Again, guys, for anyone that's tuning in, this is the TT eSports Dota 2 Weekly. So TT eSports is a division of Thermaltake focused on sort of the esports side of things. So they've put up the put up the prize for this event. So I believe it's 5 mouse pads going to the winner. This is obviously in association with Adroits, and I am Basekip, your caster, and I think that's about it. A reminder that you can, well, it should be, okay, you can subscribe to Adroits on YouTube, that's Adroits TV. You can follow Adroits tweets, and there's plenty of other options there. I think if you saw the Reddit post, all of the details are there as well, so I'm just going to have to manually switch overlays. Okay, there we go. So I think that's all okay. So getting underway with the game over on the side of LucidLunatics, Paranoia is going to be playing the Shadow Demon. We've got Twilight, Twilight playing the Clockwork. Philish is going to be playing the Queen of Pain. Again, sorry about the pronunciation, guys. Andy Licious is going to be playing the Lion, and Platfisk is going to be playing the Lifestealer. Over on the side of WNMD, we're going to have Ballad playing the Wisp. Chocoboss is going to be playing the Shadow Shaman. Badman on the Tiny. Heading up towards top is going to be Phantom. That's the team name on the Binary Beast brackets if you're looking there. So he's going to be playing the Weaver, and Palma is going to be playing our solo mid Magnus. And just checking in that all my settings are working out okay at the moment. As far as starting items go, we've already seen an Observer Ward go down from LucidLunatics right now, trying to block off that pull camp. And they've got some sentries as well. Chocoboss has a smoke. And they don't actually have any sentry wards. Wisp has opted for a Gauntlet of Strength. They've got a whole bunch of Clarities. So, not sure what to make of this. They're not going to be able to unblock their pull right now, which is a huge detriment to them. Tiny's actually got a Quelling Blade. So, was maybe expecting to have to last it under tower a little bit. Just cutting a small juke path through there. I believe, but that's about it. Hopefully he'll cut down this tree as well, just to ensure easier pulls for his supports. But again, the pull is blocked right now, and this is going to be trouble for WNMD. They're going to be behind as far as XP goes, right from the word go. And the supports that they have aren't necessarily all that great at ganking a Queen of Pain on mid, so they don't really have a second option available to them right now. It's going to be a bottle rush for both of our mids. Right now, heading up towards top is Phantom. He spotted out the Zerman Urn, so he's got a haste at the moment, just zipping his way around, trying to soak up as much XP as he possibly can before these supports come in. LucidLunatics doing a good job. They've got some sentry wards of their own picked up, so Weaver didn't start off with any obs, so they don't need to invest any of those to dewarding the pull camp, which means that they can just sort of keep him out of lane, have 6 full minutes of just preventing him from really doing all that much, though Paranoid taking some harassment right now. And Weaver fairly good on the offlane, since if it's only a 1v1 situation against the supports, he can put out quite a bit of damage. And we've already got an Observer Ward going down. Phantom maybe in trouble. He's going to try and Shikuchi his way out. But we are going to have a disruption. And Delicious moving into position as well. The Shikuchi going to be on cooldown for a very long time. The open wins it over the top. And this is going to be our first blood drawn by LucidLunatics. Paranoia getting that one against Phantom. So nicely played. Weaver's going to head straight back to the lane. But he knows the sentry ward is down now. Should be playing a little bit more defensively. He can afford to hide off to the side. As well, just to try and soak XP similar to a bounty hunter. But right now, LucidLunatics doing a good job of driving out of the lane. They are using both supports for this right now. So while WNMD aren't really getting any pulling done, nor are LL, but they're finding kills. So right now, gotta give the upper hand a little bit to them. Tiny finding some great farm down on bot, pretty uncontested, and Tiny with a Quelling Blade. It's pretty difficult to miss last hits, frankly. So. Should be up there in terms of CS. Check in on our mid. Magnus has already finished up his bottle. And looks like Phil just a little bit slower there, though it is now flying out with haste. We've got some pings going out. LucidLunatics won another kill on Phantom, but he's just going to Shikuchi himself away and get back to the safety of his tower. So he's going to be fine right now, but still only level 1, so the support's doing a good job of locking him out right now. And Shadow Demon, a fairly good support against the Weaver, since you can waste a lot of the duration of the Shikuchi just using the disruption, and Phil has found himself a double damage rune. They're now chasing down the level 1 Shadow Shaman, trying to juke a little bit right now. Support comes in from the side, but I think this is going to be a second kill. There's the Hex. The Tether through as well. Phil, is he really in trouble? There isn't enough mana left right now. He's going to get a kill and just blink himself away. So nicely played there, and looks like he's going to be fine to make his escape, making great opportunistic use of that double damage. So LucidLunatics right now leading the board by 2. As far as warding goes, they've got sight on the rune, and down on bot. What the heck? Clockwork actually finds a kill on the carry, the Tiny. So not quite sure what happened there. I guess just cogs, rank 1 cogs, rank 1 battery assault. Sorry about missing that one, guys, but that's frankly a little bit unusual. And hopefully that won't continue. In theory, I should be at my best right now, since I'm not as tired as I will be later on this evening. Again, I am in Australia, so it's already getting pretty late for me. It's only going to get later. And yeah, that's about it. Phil, with all of that time spent killing the support down in the Radiant jungle, he has fallen behind a little bit as far as CS goes, and Twilight, what are you doing? Finds another kill on the Wisp down on bot. So Clockwork is having a fantastic time right now. Every lane working out great for LL. And yet, Clockwork now 2 levels ahead of the Tiny. So yeah, not sure what's going on. I should keep a closer eye on this one. 4-minute Urn did just spawn, so Phil manages to grab himself that one. And Twilight's just going to be forced back right now by the Wisp Spirits. But as far as everything goes, Nyx is now catching up in terms of CS. Right behind the Tiny, and so every lane right now working out quite well for LucidLunatics. And unfortunately the pull is still blocked, so WNMD forced to split XP down on bot. They haven't actually given any XP to Shadow Shaman just yet, so he's just been dodging XP right now. Has been stacked up the hard camp once, so there's a little bit of banked up XP for him there. Though we'll see if he just gives it to the Tiny to clear out later. Splitting the XP only 2 ways means that they're going to have that relocate up a little bit earlier, and hopefully going to be able to use that as a mechanism to get back into the game, because again, Clockwork is just running rampant down in this bottom lane right now. And LL just continue to pull up on top. Support's doing fairly well for themselves. Phantom's still down on level 1. So a comparison of the offlaners, Clockwork is winning in a big way, already up to level 6 right now. Doesn't have a whole lot of farm, but with 2 kills to his name, it doesn't really matter all that much right now. So I think LucidLunatics is going to have to be happy with the position that they're in so far this game. Palma actually doing a pretty good job at the moment. Looks like he has been bottle crowing a little bit, and you can see that mid lane can work out in favor of Magnus. Some of the last hit discrepancy is from Phil finding that kill in the Radiant jungle, and he is now catching his way back up. So mid lane pretty much even right now. We'll see how much Magnus is going to be able to get done. He's almost got his arcane boots finished up, so can start to look to make some ganks happen. But the big problem is going to be trying to gank this Queen of Pain. They've got the roster, but he's got pretty much no levels, so he doesn't really have all that much chain disable. Phantom just going to spot out Paranoia there. A few hits traded back and forth, and while the supports are away, Clockwork will continue to ruthlessly murder the Tiny up on top. Phantom in trouble, zipping his way away from that ward. So looks like he might be fine. Pops up the salve as well. Doesn't have the Shikuchi up for a little bit. Actually walks back into the Shadow Poison. Not sure why that was instantly removed. It would have given them valuable vision. And Phil's going to come up and just finish off that kill. So LL now leading the board 0-6. We did have the 600 urn spawn up, so that was a double damage there. And yeah, I gotta see what Clockwork is doing down on this bottom lane right now. He does have 4 points up in the battery assault, so if he can get the Tiny 1v1 in the cogs, then that's pretty much a dead level for Tiny. He's heading towards the Hand of Midas right now, but he has been stymied a little bit by those 2 deaths. So falling behind, well, only 1 CS behind the Nakes at the moment. But yeah, not having a fun time whatsoever. And Nakes, what's the build going to be for him? Actually a Hand of Midas as well, which he has already finished and used once. So in that comparison, Nake's definitely coming out on top right now. And yeah, I'm from Australia, that's why it's so late right now, to the person who asked in chat. And you won't get that response for 2 minutes again with the stream delay. So, and Phil doing okay on mid. We had the Wisps come in to try and find something, but just the 2 of them, not really enough to find a kill, so Phil's gonna jump up. Looks like it's going to be a straight Ags rush for him this game. No treads, no magic wands, just goes straight for the point booster right now. Not a huge fan of the Ags rush build. Not a huge fan of the Ags rush build because Ags really comes into its element once you get up to level 16 and sort of isn't all that great before that point, which does mean that you can sort of go for an item beforehand, before starting to look at the Ags. And given how the game's been going so far, hold that thought. Andy in trouble up on top. Palma jumps in, but not able to use the reverse polarity just yet. Nice disruption as well. Soulcatcher in over the top. TP out from Andy, and now Paranoia on the retreat as well. Nakes all the way back behind the tower. In fact, we might have Plat go down here, and Wisp coming in as well. The Spirit's going to finish that one off. Palma's still chasing, but not able to find the Shadow Demon in the end, so now 1 kill on the board for WNMD, and they didn't even use the reverse polarity for that one, so nicely played, though they did bring 3 heroes up towards this top lane. Wisp does now have his relocate, and Twilight has found Badman again in the cogs. Nice avalanche keeping him alive for now, but the rocket and 1 more battery assault could have been enough to pick up that kill. Phil coming down as well, just to make sure, but I think Clockwork was fine. So finally finally getting my eye on that kill there. And I guess that's been the story up until this point.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So Chocoboss manages to find himself at level 3. Again, really unfortunate that WNMD didn't manage to unblock their pull camp, which is a pretty significant deal. I mean, if we have a quick check in on the hero level and trying not to miss anything at the same time. Actually, the Radiance, the Dire support's actually a little bit lower right now. I guess they've been chasing, Weaver all the way around the map right now, as opposed to running pulls. So we're about 9 minutes in. We haven't seen a tower fall just yet, but I will just switch over to net worth since the knives aren't really all that relevant. We've got a relocate heading up towards top. Andy in trouble. Palma comes in, gets the skewer back as well. They don't get the tether stun, but the nuke through, and 1 right click going to be enough to grab that one. TP support now coming in from Phil, but there's still 3 heroes here. Plat as well, only a few seconds away from the Wisp heading back. Reverse polarity thrown out, not 100% sure why. But it did buy them enough time for the relocate to get them back to safety. So nicely played down on bot. Choco maybe in trouble, but Twilight's actually completely out of mana right now. We've still got supports, and Badman hiding off in the trees right now. Looks like he's just trying to Quelling Blade his way to safety, but he's going to be fine to escape. We've actually got more Radiant heroes heading down here at the moment as well. Paranoia, oh, you are not walking into a situation you want to be in. This might be one dead Shadow Demon, the Skewer through. No Tether Stun, nice disruption, but one more right click going to be enough to grab that one. And the Tether Stun in over the top as well. Looks like I am dropping a couple of frames here and there, guys, so hopefully that'll clear up. Again, Australian internet is sort of the bane of my existence as far as casting goes, and as I say that, actually missing a kill. Up on top, we had Phantom going down at the same time. So, got another ward down right now. We're going to be pinged out. Actually pinged out there by the Radiant side. We've got Palma coming around, trying to find a kill on this pesky Clockwork, but the Avalanche doesn't actually connect. The nuke through. He's going to throw out the battery assault. Looks like he's going to be absolutely fine. Doesn't actually have enough mana for the hook shot right now. So just trying to turn around. We'll see if they go for this. We've got Paranoia making his way down as well, but there's 3 heroes here. Badman is pretty low. So we'll see. Paranoia just waiting in the wings right now, and Twilight maybe going for a little bit of a bait. It could be his death, frankly. Tiny doesn't quite have combo mana, so he doesn't have that full 240. Cogs thrown down. It gives Choco enough time to come in from the side. Does get the shackle down, but the Cogs keeping everyone away. The toss in over the top. Palma going for something, but not actually throwing at the nuke and the skewer immediately, so it looks like Twilight is going to be fine to make his retreat. And looks like Palma maybe got mana burned once there. He's actually full now. So popping off that regen rune, but not able to find the kill in the end. TP support did come down from Andylicious, so still looking for a little bit of a 3v3 engagement down on this bottom lane. And Nyx just continues to happily farm away up on top. We've got the relocate available again for WNMD, but right now Wisp is just farming on mid while Palma is away. And I'm just going to have a quick check-in to see if I can do anything about these dropped frames for you guys. So sorry about this. Again, sort of living in Australia, the bane of my existence as far as casting goes. So it looks like I got a little bit laggy for a while, but hopefully that won't persist. We've got a smoke running right now from WNMD, and Andy going to spot out Chocoboss. Who's going to get there first? We've actually got a Hex going out. And the hook shot through. Nice play by Twilight. Easy kill picked up by him. Badman comes in, gets the toss. Doesn't quite get the Avalanche. Doesn't have enough mana, but the shockwave through from Palma finds that kill. Andy now trying to make his escape. Palma, what have you got left? He's got a skewer. Andy's got the reverse polarity. Jumps down onto the low ground. Does actually manage to connect that skewer as well. Nicely played. 2 kills there picked up by WNMD in exchange for 1, but it's only the Rasta. And yeah, looks like things have more or less stabilized, I believe. Or perhaps not. So hopefully again the drop frames won't continue, guys. But I'll have to try and change a few things in between games, I suspect, just to make sure that everything is 100% stable. There have been a few issues of late as well with some of the Twitch servers, since they've been under heavier load since Own 3D shut down. Phantom has managed to catch his way back up to level 7 right now, so doing a pretty good job there. There's not a whole lot of farm to speak of, and Twilight is actually up on level 10, still just waiting for the hook shot to cool down. We've actually got Ballad moving in as well. We've got some pings going out up towards top. They infest up into the creep, and Badman comes in. Can he find the combo? We've got the Beatles up on top of Andy trying to make his escape. Badman still giving chase. Can he get out of here? Paranoia comes in, finds a nice soul catcher. Chocoboss here as well. Nyx jumps out, going for Badman. The Finger of Death in over the top as well. Open wounds. Badman gonna drop. Palma still holding on to that reverse polarity. Only finds it on 1, and Nyx still very, very healthy. Phil comes in, immediately pops off the Rasta, and now Palma trying to make his escape. Looks like he's going to be okay, tethered up there by the Wisp. So LL not done. Probably going to be looking for this tier 1. And Phil just trade swapping over to Agi to get as much as he can out of those remaining bottle charges. And the lag continues for me, guys, so sorry about that one. Again, hopefully, I probably have to switch my Twitch server in between games, but hopefully it's still watchable. I think spectators might be on in-game, so you might be able to catch my commentary there as well, but yeah, not sure what's going on. My stream's been stable all week, and suddenly it decides to be laggy. So I'm conscious about it, guys. I'm doing everything that I can, but right now, just hopefully you guys can deal with it. So, as far as the game goes right now, it's a 6-kill lead for LucidLunatics. They're leading by 5k XP and about 3k gold. The top tower was denied, so a little bit of an economic blow there from WNMD. As far as Tiny's farm goes, unfortunately he's 0-4 for 1 right now. So, and the Midas not helping him out all that much. The relocate's going to come in as well, but Phil can just blink himself away. Twilight jumps straight in. Man mode on the Clockwork. The skewer back attempted by Palma there. And Platt now jumping straight in. He's actually got boots of travel up on the Nakes, going for Ballad. 1 second to relocate back. Lucky duck he is. And Badman, nice 4-man avalanche. The nuke flies through as well. Nake's almost dead. Will actually drop to the last shockwave. Phil, he's not done. Comes in, finds himself a dominating streak. Palma jumping back behind the tower. Phil just going to be reaching himself up a little bit. And that's going to be about it for this team fight on middle lane. The overall exchange 2 for 1 there. And Twilight's just throwing out casual rocket on the creep wave there. Magnus has now finished up his blink dagger, so that's going to be flying out in just a second. Ballad, not a whole lot of farm to speak of, but that's sort of to be expected. Phantom still just playing catch up down on bot right now, so WNMD doing a pretty good job of holding things off 4v5, and Magnus a big contributor to that, 2 for 0 for 3, so huge participation, especially given that WNMD only have 6 kills on the board right now. Andy goes to the bottom corner and manages to find himself a regen, but not helping him out all that much. Ballad actually catches the soul catcher there. Phil now coming in as well. Can they find a kill? Looks like the 2 supports are just going to be fine to make their way off, and Palma now with blink dagger in hand, reverse polarity available, comes in to scare everybody away. And the lag continues, so sorry about that one, guys. Again, I'll probably just switch over to the Singapore server or something like that in between games to try and fix this one up, so you guys have a pleasurable viewing experience for the rest of the games this evening. Or today, or wherever you are, whatever the relevant time is. Fill in the blank, I suppose. Okay, so we've seen Boots of Travel picked up by Nakes. We've actually got a kill going out down on bot, sorry about that. Again, not sure why I'm not paying attention, looking at the dropped frames too much, and I guess my concentration not 100% right now, so I'll make another apology and do my best to keep an eye on this pesky bottom lane, where Twilight finds himself another kill, which I didn't notice. So Phantom actually going down, and that recovery farm now set back just a little bit. And actually just a little naked ring of health. He's going to finish up his ring of protection as well, and a cloak for some more survivability. But the cloak not helping him out all that much, especially given that he only has 650 HP. So not 100% sure about that choice, and we'll see what the rest of the item build is going to be for him. Palma on mid, just nuking down Phil a little bit. It's going to be a mech as the pickup for the Shadow Demon. Interesting to see that we didn't just see Clockwork go for that one. Go for some arcane boots and a mech, just given how farmed he is. But I guess the Vanguard helping him out a little bit as far as diving underneath towers go. But it was fairly late, so I think it would be nice to see perhaps just some arcanes and a mech, though he doesn't necessarily have all that much farm. Nakes, on the other hand, as we've seen, he's got Boots of Travel. A pretty ballsy pickup, but I guess LucidLunatics feeling pretty happy with their position that they're in right now. We haven't seen the relocate used in a little while, so hopefully Ballad will go for that one in a sec. And it's a very gank-oriented build as well. I've actually got Cogs flying out down on bot, but looks like everybody's going to be fine to escape. Phantom luckily gets away with a double damager in there. So, as far as the ward situation goes right now, it's fairly defensive at the moment for the Radiant side. Phil in trouble on mid, going to be skewered back and into the Hex as well. Nicely played there by WNMD, and going to be finding a kill. Up on top, Nake's putting on some split pressure, so we will be able to force at some TPs. Palma making his way up there right now, and the open wounds up on him. Actually just going to blink himself away. Nicely played. The relocate's going to come in as well, but the Rage and TP a little bit faster there, and it's only the Wisp coming in without a buddy. So the relocate going to be on cooldown for a minute and a half, and not 100% sure about the decision making there by the Wisp as I bite my tongue for some reason. Again, sorry about that one, guys. So Phantom still trying to find that recovery farm, not really contributing all that much right now. And Platt down on bot has his armlet finished up as well, so his net worth is absolutely ridiculous right now. The Tiny not doing a bad job, especially given the number of deaths that he does have to his name. We've got a smoke coming out from LucidLunatics right now, but it was spotted out by a Radiant ward freshly planted. So we've got 5 heroes heading down towards bot. They should be able to secure this tier 1 because the reverse polarity is not going to be available for a little bit. LucidLunatics should be fine to claim the tier 1, claim themselves a little bit of gold. Looks like the pings are going out on mid. That's actually a defensive ping from LucidLunatics right now. And suspecting that WNMD might be looking for a trade. Again, they are a little bit behind right now, so looking for trades isn't a bad thing to do. We're going to have the Serpent Wards dropped as well on mid, but all the TP support coming in right now, and Twilight's just chasing everyone off. And just going to be picking up some ward farm for good measure. So LucidLunatics hold on to the tower, but Twilight's taking a lot of damage from the Serpent Wards. The rest of the heroes moving in from the side right now. As far as Tiny's farm goes, he's picked himself up a drum. So a little bit more cheap effectiveness for him there, but he hasn't really been dragged along for any ganks just yet. And we've actually got the hook shot through onto mid, but Palmer's going to get the skewer back onto Twilight, back into tower range. Soulcatcher goes out on Phantom. Dust not timed properly there, and the kill actually picked up on Palmer. Phantom now trying to make his escape, but again gets back into the Shikuchi. And oh no, it's not enough. Nicely connected Clock Rocket, and that purge damage popping at the very end, enough to bring down the very squishy Weaver. So nicely played there by LucidLunatics. They grab themselves the last tier 1 that the Radiant have to their name, and not done just yet. Magnus is still on the sidelines, but as soon as he respawns, he does have that reverse polarity available. And Badman actually looking to finish off this tower down on bot, but doesn't have enough for the last toss to grab it. Looks like he's just going to go for the tower, though it might mean his death as well. The Sting, the right clicks, and Phil adds another one to his collection. Still making progress towards that Aghanim Scepter right now. And LucidLunatics find the stack as well. Nake's just going to work, taking quite a bit of damage from that, in fact, so there will be a few left for WNMD, and a few of the big creeps in there, all in amongst there as well. Twilight's on mid, he's got some Arcane Boots finished up. Chocoboss, not a whole lot to speak of, actually 1.4k gold in the bank. It might be a straight Blink Rush for this Rasta, we'll have to see. I mean, they do have the initiation already from the Magnus, and I feel like maybe he should just go for some items that are going to be helping out a little bit more in these skirmishes. Wisp isn't really able to make all that much progress towards a mech or anything at the moment. So, would definitely be nice to have it, especially given the fact that LL are looking to push it, or pressure these team fights. They do feel that I believe that they feel they have the upper hand at the moment, and placing some fairly aggressive wards as well, tying into that theme. Though WNMD not all that shy either, looking for those relocate ganks. They're doing the right thing as far as their warding goes, trying to find those pickoffs. Phil has now finished off his Ags, making his way towards mid, and Phantom potentially the target. It's going to be a hook shot through, doesn't actually connect. Twilight finds the creep there, so he will just right click that one down. And 4 heroes right now on mid for WNMD, while Badman tries to find a little bit of farm down on bot, but actually going to back himself off on full HP right now, and picking himself up. The Ogre Club Twilight initiated on a little bit on mid, but the shackle immediately cancelled. Chocoboss suspecting that the stun was going to come through. The purge on top of him as well. Nice 4-man, 3-man reverse polarity, and the mech pops just to keep everyone alive. The skewer through as well. Palma drops low, and he's going to drop as well. Twilight's going to work, but in comes Badman. He's got the toss up as well. Combo doing huge damage. One more right click going to find him that kill, and a 4-0 wipe going in favor of the Radiant side right now. Nicely played there, and again, Palma, all the setup that they needed in the world. And the dropped frames do continue, guys, so hopefully it's watchable. Again, I'll try and fix things in between games. Not sure what's going on. I won't blame it on Twitch, but yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. It's not usually the case. So hopefully it clears up for the rest of the evening. And Nix right now looks like he's finished up his Desolator. So again, leading the net worth heavily at the moment. Those items will be added to his net worth once the courier arrives. And Bell just finding a little bit of farm right now. Has some Arcane Boots up, and looks like he's going to be working towards that mech. Chocoboss, he's actually just picked up some Arcanes. And what's flying out right now? It's just a Bracer and some wards. So getting those effective items up, we're going to have a phone call just for a second. So it gives us a little bit of time to check in on the graphs, and after that team fight, well, gold swinging back, well, sort of back towards the Radiant. There's still 2,500 in it right now, and about the same in terms of XP, but looking pretty good right now for WNMD. Phantom has actually finished up his hood, and just going for a straight pipe rush right now, unconcerned about any HP. I would have liked to see perhaps a naked vitality booster, just for that little bit of extra survivability, since he's got so much resistance from the hood. But right now, just going straight for that pipe So gonna have to be careful with his positioning and also relatively careful with his mana as well. Needs to make sure that he has enough for the time lapse. And LucidLunatics going for a smoke right now, making their way down towards bot. Choco Boss luckily finds himself a haste, so skating his way away there, and Twilight throws out a random hookshot. Doesn't actually connect on Palma, who was the target there. LucidLunatics heads straight into the Roshan pit. They've got the Desolator to bring this one down fairly quickly, and not sure if WNMD are all that aware. They've actually pinged out, and that's my phone, sorry about that one, guys. They've actually pinged out the Ancients right now, so looks like they are unaware. LucidLunatics is going to be picking up Roshan in just a second. Now the Agents in the hands of the Nakes as well. And still this good offensive warding down from LucidLunatics. The warding from WNMD hasn't really found them any relocate ganks for a while, so the Wisp not really being used to his fullest potential, though once we start to head towards the late game, points up in overcharge, we'll just make the Tiny into a monster, and Badman actually doing a pretty good job. Does now have his Aghanim Scepter finished up, and going to be made all that scarier by the Magnus right now. So, LucidLunatics, how are the support items going for them? Paranoia has finished himself up a mech, and Delicious just trying to tank himself up a little bit. We've already seen Nyx's items, and Twilight now just working his way towards an Aghanim Scepter. Ping's going out on him right now, but with that, with the chains to the hookshot, they should be fine to escape. And LucidLunatics, the good thing for them right now is they've got the Aegis in hand, so they should be able to use this 6-minute window to try and take the remaining tier 2s around the map, just depending on how ballsy WNMD are feeling, and they're just going to go straight onto Plat right now, who's just going to turn himself around, going right for Badman. Palma actually going to dodge out of the way of the hookshot there, and the Nakes a long way from home right now. The Disable now flying in, but he does still have the Aegis up. Nice 2-man polarity, but immediately the turnaround, and Cogs keeping everyone away right now. Palma's actually going to drop a nice War Trap up on Twilight, trying to make his escape right now, but dropping fairly low. One more open wounds up on Badman, but a nice Hex. Sonic Wave in over the top, only just connect on the Tiny there, and Ballad able to get his carry to safety as Choco Boss dies. So a little bit of self-sacrifice there. Phantom trying to make his escape, uses the time lapse. So a nice team fight from LucidLunatics, and the reverse polarity used there by WNMD. So LucidLunatics should be able to find this tier 2, probably find themselves another one as well, since the reverse polarity is going to be on cooldown. Phantom comes up to try and slow things down as best he can using the Swarm, which is actually going to do a pretty good job. It takes creeps a very long time to work their way through it. It's 8 hits. 8 creep hits, or I think 3 or 4 hero hits. I'd have to check that one, and Nyx just looking scary right now as Phantom makes his way in. Or that was a cancelled TP. Again, not paying nearly enough attention, guys. Sorry about that one. And hopefully the casting will improve once I can get my eye off that dropped frames tab. So LucidLunatics claim the tower. They've still got about 4 minutes left with that Aegis, so hopefully make use of that one. Bot lane did naturally push itself in, so fairly good there for WNMD, and buys them some breathing room right now to try and find a little bit of farm. They're going to go straight for the turnaround. Ping's going out on this tier 1 tower up on top. Though Twilight and Paranoia well aware of what is going on right now, and Nyx finishes up a Skull Basher as well, so he is just ridiculously farmed at the moment. And Badman still not quite level 16 just yet. We've got a pipe popping off there from Phantom. Not quite sure why. I guess the rocket flying through there does sort of confirm that one and gives them a little bit out of that pipe, though it has now faded. We've got the wards dropped down as well. They're only rank 1 wards. Trials comes in for the initiation. Actually manages to split Badman off, but taking a lot of damage. Hexed up as well. Looks like he's going to drop the Soul Catcher in over the top. And Badman's still so far away from his team. Nyx comes in looking for the split, going straight onto Palma, skewers himself away. Can't really find the initiation right now, despite the reverse polarity being up. And a lucky bash. Looks like Palma is going to drop. The fight continues over back behind the tier 1 Paranoia, trying to run away from Badman and Ballad. Badman looks like he's going to be able to secure himself the tower, but does die as well. 3 to the trade right now. Ballad trying to make his escape. Does he have anything to tether to? Doesn't look like it, and gets bashed as well. Phantom still going to work. Finds himself another kill. We've got a few pings going out his way. And 4 for 3, actually the exchange. And looks like Nyx just going to be forced to deal with that beetle right there. So. Whew. Okay. So as the dust settles, XP about 5k in favor of the dire side right now. And about 3k the gold lead as well. So not a huge advantage, and looks like Lifestealer did lose the Aegis in that skirmish as well, so actually pretty much even for WNMD, even without getting to use their reverse polarity. And we've actually got a double reverse polarity coming online fairly soon for the Magnus. Almost has that refresher orb finished up. So that is going to spell trouble for the Nate, because again, if he gets stunned down, he's fairly easy to kill. I mean, he does have 2.2k health with the armlet up, but unless he's slapping a fairly high health target, he's going to have troubles. As far as Roshan goes, it's about 5 minutes away right now. Badman managed to find himself level 16. Hopefully we've got some points now being picked up in overcharge by the Wisp. Interesting to see that we didn't see just a casual early point picked up. I know some Wisp players do get it at level 4. And there's a big reason for that. If you're on full HP and you're tethered to someone, then you don't actually get any heals. So that's one reason to get the overcharge fairly early on, especially if you aren't getting something like a soul ring to just deliberately reduce your own HP. They've got LucidLunatics going for a smoke gank right now. They're going to spot out the Wisp, but he should be able to just tether himself down to Phantom, and actually luckily pops down onto the low ground there with that tether. I'm not sure how well planned out that was, but LucidLunatics not going to be able to find themselves that gank. Queen of Pain is now working her way towards a Hex, just the ultimate orb picked up right now, and LucidLunatics going to be going for this tower down on bot. Still no survivability being worked towards by the Lifestealer. Actually grabs himself up a Hyperstone. Would be nice to see the Heart being worked towards at some point, since again he does need to try and survive through the double reverse polarity. So we've got a smoke right now from WNMD. It is going to be revealed as Platt comes forward, and Palma looking for that blink initiation, but nicely played there from Phil. Comes in, but doesn't actually manage to find the Sting, and now stunned Hex. Everything but the kitchen sink thrown at him, and a nice 3-man reverse polarity connect. Sonic Wave in over the top. Platt trying to right-click someone to recover his health, but now actually dead. Twilight's trying to make his escape as well. The skewer back onto a few illusions there. Phantom tossed in. Now chasing after Phil. He's going to have the blink up in just a second, trying to make his retreat, but it's a 3-0 wipe right now in favor of the Radiant side. And Queen of Pain still being chased down. Blink up in just a second. We've actually got to relocate, jumping in over the top, but it's only on the Wisp, so no tether stun there. The Spirit's going to be doing some okay damage, but Phil just blinks himself away. So, a little bit weird there by the Wisp, but a nice team fight taken by the Radiant side. They do still trail by about 6 kills, but they hold on to their tier 2, and they get themselves a little bit closer towards that next Roshan as well, where they will hopefully have the double reverse polarity available. So, Phantom still just farming up a little bit on mid, does actually have a little bit of survivability and some damage on top of that pipe, though still below 1k HP right now. So 100% relying on his evasiveness, and Badman comes in from the high ground, immediately pops the Shadow Demon. He was not expecting that one at all. Another pickoff. This is looking pretty good for WNMD. We are actually going to have Nakes respawning in about 10 seconds, so they might not be able to take this up to the high ground, but they can try and put some damage on the tier 3. Still waiting around 30 seconds till the reverse polarity. Twilight comes in just to try and slow things down as best he can with the cogs, and we'll buy enough time for the Lifestealer to respawn. There is still a tier 2 for WNMD to try and claim up on top, but with everyone respawning on both sides, looks like they might just go back to farming for a little while. We've now got rank 3 overcharge up on the Wisp, so helping out Tiny's damage in a big way. It hasn't really been locked down all that much in these fights, and doesn't really have a BKB either, so hopefully we'll see some more stuns, some more hexes sort of going his way. And I think the Clockwork Cogs has been, well, helping and hurting LucidLunatics right now. Badman's been frequently stuck in the middle, but at this point Twilight doesn't really have enough damage to try and solo him down. He's actually, well, sort of just becoming a cleave target for the rest of his team. Phantom's going to spot out Twilight there. He's still working towards his Aghanim Scepter at the moment. And LucidLunatics just going straight for this push again down on bot, but not sure how much things can change actually in their favor. In Paranoia, just going to throw out, well, Disruption and a Soul Catcher on top of that Magnus illusion there. Just going to leave the illusions to deal with the illusion, but Magnus does actually survive. WNMD maybe not 100% sure about the Roshan timing right now, sending that illusion into the pit, and LucidLunatics going to be able to find the tier 2 tower down on bottom lane right now. So no defense there from WNMD. Badman just waiting up on the high ground. LucidLunatics top lane not really pushing out in their favor right now, but they don't need to deal with it for a little bit. Mid lane perhaps just that little bit more urgent. The Nakes is going to TP himself straight over there just to push the equilibrium back. Quap joins the fray as well. So LucidLunatics, again, just trying to get themselves in a good position for Roshan. They are on the dire side, so they've got a small advantage in that regard as well. And Chocoboss just trying to tank up a little bit right now. Badman, we saw that AC a little while ago. Refresher Orb now finished up for Palma, so he's got that double reverse available, and just up to level 16 as well. So it's a full strength reverse polarity. And Phantom still just farming up a little bit for now. We'll probably see a damage item as the next big pickup for him. Nice wards going down right now for LucidLunatics, and forcing some slightly more defensive wards from WNMD since they are dropping sentries to pair with all of these wards. They head straight into the pit, and the Desolator making fairly quick work of Roshan right now. Everybody split up a little bit right now, but they're all actually going to head down into the pit. They need to be careful of the reverse polarity. Twilight comes out. Did he connect the nuke on Palma? Yes, keeping that blink dagger on cooldown at least for a little bit. Palma looking for the initiation, and Twilight now tossed and stunned, and a huge 3-man reverse body. There's the refresher, and another one coming up in just a second, but I'm not sure if they even need it. Badman already with an ultra kill. Platt finds himself the Aegis, but just a few right clicks already killing him off, and makes his return, but immediately bounced into the air and killed off. So a 5-0 wipe going in favor of WNMD right now. And that double reverse polarity just ruining LucidLunatics. I think it was 3 or 4 right clicks for that ultra kill for Badman. And the charge now continues straight down mid. Who's got buyback? Actually, nobody. This should be a straight Rax for LucidLunatics. No, Quap did actually have buyback along with Twilight. He's going to try and hold this out as long as they possibly can. Not quite level 16 just yet, so ultimately not going to be as spammable as it could be. We're going to throw it out regardless. Phil may be in trouble and does actually manage to blink his way to safety. Right, well, melee barracks already dead. Badman's going straight for the range. Ballad not actually tethering to his carry there while overcharging. So a little bit weird, and now making their way down towards bot. Nake's still on the sideline for about 34 seconds, and LucidLunatics come in, but it looks like they're already going to lose too. Andy-Licious and Twilight is trying to make their retreat right now. We've got one more nuke thrown out, but Andy might just straight out die from the beetle. He will do so, and Phantom now still chasing through. LucidLunatics dead for now, and Badman, he's not done. Finds himself a monster kill streak. And now they just head straight down to these barracks, which are being made very quick work of right now. Badman just a few right clicks there. Tier 2 does still stand up on top, but I think WNMD might just be able to go for end right now, just farming up a little bit at the moment. But yeah, Nake's going to be dead. Does now finally respawn. Quap no ultimate up, and Tier 4 tower is absolutely no obstacle at all for the overcharged Tiny. Nake's trying to man-fight right now, can do so fairly well, but one more reverse polarity in over the top, connects on Platt and Phil. Phil drops low, Platt goes for the infest, but doesn't actually get any HP out. The skewer through, and this is just fountain camping right now for WNMD. Tier 4 tower still in about half, and LucidLunatics, it's far too staggered for them right now. They do have 4 heroes now up, making their way back out. Palm of the target, toss up into the air. We've already got Twilight's dead, stuck in the cog trap right now, and Platt enough auto attack range to actually kill off Badman there. And the Ancient under threat. Phantom just needs to keep going to work right now. Does also have the time lapse up. Double kill for the Nakes, but buybacks right now for WNMD. Do we have a relocate available? Val's going to TP himself back to base. Is anyone waiting for him? No, Palm is just heading straight up mid. And the Ancient's still under attack. Phantom going to work along with Badman, who's made his triumphant return. Actually picked up some boots of travel for that one. Just right-clicking down the Nakes at the moment. It's a little bit of a man fight, but Nakes losing out as Tiny drops lower and lower. And the Ancient is going to fall. Well played by WNMD, and the GG going to be called by both sides. So anyway, this is the very first game played for, well, not the first game played, but the first game broadcast for the TT Esports Dota 2 Weekly. I've been basically bringing you guys this game. I'm going to try and fix a few things in between games with regards to the frame drop and the lag. But yeah, hopefully I'll get that all fixed. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We've got tons more Dota action coming up tonight as well.